September 22nd, 2023 at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This may be the most important time in the history of the Celsius bankruptcy so far, because that is the deadline for Celsius creditors to vote for or against the plan to exit Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So if you have money caught up in the disaster movie that is Celsius, like Deezy, stay tuned because we're going to be going through the recent news and bankruptcy evacuation plan. Let's discover crypto. The Celsius bankruptcy has taken an immeasurable toll on the crypto community. Here at Discover Crypto, we have $3 million of company money caught up in this Ponzi scheme. I have 2 ETH on there. A lot of Hit Network employees lost their personal savings. If you're a Celsius creditor, we really feel your pain. So many people have had to postpone important life events like buying property, having a family, or retiring because of Mashinsky's negligence. But it seems like there may be a relative end in sight. It's not the ending we deserve because, let's be honest, all of us deserve 100% of our crypto back. But at least it seems like we're getting the third act in what will end up being a multi-year process. If you want this nightmare to end, go ahead, smash the like button and subscribe, and share this video with a fellow Celsius creditor. Over the last few months, some things have gone down regarding Celsius. Celsius reached a settlement with Core Scientific, a Bitcoin mining company, which will allow Celsius to buy a mining data center worth $45 million for a mere $14 million. Core Scientific accused Celsius for failing to pay its bills, while Celsius accused Core of not developing rigs according to their contract. Then the two companies became bankruptcy buddies, with Core filing for bankruptcy a mere 4 months after Celsius filed in July 2022. At least Celsius got a discount. And then Steve Kokonos, the former CEO of Algorand, was chosen to run NewCo. Kokonos is also a co-owner of Fahrenheit and US Bitcoin, as well as the hedge fund Arrington Capital. He'll sit on a board with Scott Duffy and Thomas DiFiore, the 2 co-chairs of Celsius Creditor Committee, so we can hope the interests of Celsius creditors will be taken into account. But you want to know my favorite piece of Celsius news? Mashinsky was arrested. Okay, I know this was a couple months ago, but I love seeing him in orange. He got 7 criminal counts, including commodities and wire fraud, manipulating the value of the CEL token, and misleading Celsius customers. And of course, our beloved SEC had to get involved and is suing Mashinsky for selling unregistered securities. As much as I want every charge thrown at this guy, crypto is not a security. Unfortunately, Mashinsky living that jail life behind bars is only a fantasy because he's out on $40 million bail. Wouldn't it be nice if that money was added to the creditor settlement? But he's under electronic monitoring and forbidden from moving more than $10,000 at a time. Oh, and also the feds foreclosed on his Austin house, so that's nice, I guess. But what bothers me the most is that Mashinsky had the audacity to seek a complete dismissal of the case. His lawyers are saying that Mashinsky didn't knowingly mislead anybody. If Mashinsky didn't know he was being bad, why did he artificially inflate CEL and cash out his personal holdings right before the collapse? Luckily, another Celsius exec, Ronnie Cohen-Pavon, pled guilty to all criminal charges a few days later and agreed to cooperate with the prosecutors. So hopefully that will dig Mashinsky's legal grave. Okay, so now let's get into the plan. Quick disclaimer, this is not financial or legal advice. Do your own research and decide whether a yes or no vote is best for your particular situation. A lot of smart people have been doing real in-depth Celsius content on YouTube, and if you want more information and opinions, and if you have some serious money caught up in this mess and for some reason are just tuning in now, you may want to consult a lawyer. And please be careful out there because a nasty side effect of this bankruptcy is that all our data has been leaked. Be very careful what emails and links you're clicking on. Up your internet security, your VPN, etc. So first of all, the UCC recommends that all creditors vote yes for this plan. They think it's the best option for getting the most money back in a relatively timely manner. And I'll be honest, they're really making it hard to vote no. For example, if you vote to approve the plan, you won't be pursued for clawbacks as long as you withdrew less than $100,000 3 months before the collapse. Again, innocent people who are smart enough to withdraw their crypto should never have been threatened with clawbacks. That was the worst idea in the history of bankruptcy ideas. But at least the smaller fish will be safe if they vote yes on the plan. Now, if you're one of the unlucky people who withdrew more than $100K, they will be asking for you to pay back 27.5% of what you withdrew. If you have money in your Earn account, you can pay out of that. We'll leave a link to the clawback Telegram group below. Similarly, if you had funds in a Celsius custody account and already accepted the settlement that happened a few months ago, you automatically accepted this plan. And if you had money in custody but haven't withdrawn it, you still have a choice on whether or not to vote yes. They're often 72.5% of in-kind crypto for custody account holders. If you had Bitcoin, you can withdraw your Bitcoin. And if you had Tether, you can withdraw Tether. So unfortunately, we don't know exactly how much crypto we're getting back. They've offered us estimates, but that won't be settled until the plan is confirmed. Then the amount we're getting back will be based on the price of the effective date, which is 15 days after the confirmation. But they seem to think it'll be about 67% of the monetary value of your crypto, divided between crypto and Nuco stock for earn accounts, and 70% of the convenience class, which is anyone who had less than $5,000 on Celsius. Keep in mind, all your claims are counted together. So if you had some money in earn, some in custody, maybe even a loan, all of these amounts need to be less than $5,000 for you to count as a convenience class. You could decrease your claim to the convenience class, but that only makes sense for people that are pretty close to the 5K mark. In terms of loans, you could repay it or keep the money Celsius gave you, and that amount will be subtracted from your collateral, which will then be treated like an earned claim. And then there's more bad news. They're converting all altcoins into Bitcoin and Ethereum. Hopefully the liquidation of our alts won't be enough to majorly impact the market. If it does, try to have some dry powder on hand to buy the dips. And I don't mean nacho. If you're a big enough creditor, you can choose to whether have your liquid crypto distributed in Ether or Bitcoin, but most smaller folks will get whatever they decide. Let's talk about toggling. You could take the default distribution of crypto and Nuco stock, or you could decide to toggle more towards crypto or more towards Nuco stock. The more Nuco stock you get, the greater percentage you get back of your original claim. People who had loans get first priority, and everyone else only gets the chance to toggle if there's a buyer on the other side. Basically, if you want more crypto, someone else has to want more stock, and vice versa. And whether or not to toggle is entirely personal, and FYI, you have to accept the plan to be able to toggle. But it really depends on how much you need your funds, your desired profit timeline, and how much you believe in Bitcoin mining companies. And here's some good news. The majority of publicly traded Bitcoin mining stocks have seen over a 200% return on the year. Cipher Mining Inc. even raked in a whopping 469% return. Hopefully that bodes well for Nuco, but we don't know how long it will take for Nuco to go public and what the stock will do if and when it does. Unfortunately, this is a no-win situation. Like I said before, we deserve way more of our crypto back, and if we don't accept this plan, it will take longer to get out of bankruptcy, and the only people who will be benefiting from that are the lawyers. I don't want to give the lawyers part of my ETH. Lawyers are expensive. Back in March of 2023, Cointelegraph estimated that Celsius legal fees had reached $144 million. So if you divide that by the 8 months we've been going through this mess, that's about $18 million per month. If fees continue like that, we'll be looking at over $160 million in fees before the end of the year. Makes me think I should have been a lawyer. Well, that's all I have for you guys. Leave a comment below and tell us how you're planning to vote. If you're toggling, will you be requesting more crypto or more Nuco stock? And as always, I'll see you at the top.